Welcome to the deep dive. We dig into your sources to pull out the key insights, the surprising facts, basically giving you a shortcut to being really well informed. And hopefully we have a bit of fun along the way. Today, it's a bit different. We're diving into some extensive excerpts from a fictional work, The Ritual, a dark college romance. Now, our goal here isn't just a book review. We're using this intense narrative as a kind of focused case study. We want to unpack the power structures, the loyalty dynamics, the control mechanisms, and the pretty startling character transformations within this fictional secret society. Think of it like using fiction to map out some real-world dynamics of coercion. Okay, let's get into it.
That's a great way to put it. And what's really striking about these excerpts is how they offer such a, concentrated view of extreme manipulation and these very rigid social hierarchies. It lets us kind of dissect the mechanics. You know? How does this world actually work? And what's the impact on the people inside it, as shown right here in these pages?
Right. So let's start with the basics. The secret society. They call themselves the LORDs, and that's an acronym. Leader, order, rule, deity, which already tells you something.
It certainly does. Deity, I mean, wow.
Their core belief, according to the text, is absolute devotion. It actually says only blood will solidify their commitment.
Which is intense. And these members, they're not just average students, are they?
No, not at all. They're typically rich kids at this place, Barrington University, often with criminal records that daddies have paid off, the degrees, apparently just formalities before they take over billion-dollar empires.
So it paints this picture of a really insular, kind of self-policing elite group. And I think a key thing to notice critically is what they value. It's loyalty and power, seemingly above everything else. The text calls it a zero-tolerance organization.
Yeah.
Limits tested, morals forgotten. It suggests they're deliberately breaking down conventional ethics.
Absolutely. And getting in isn't easy. Lords are initiated through 3 pretty brutal trials. These grant power and wealth, supposedly.
But there's a...
Yeah, they can be kicked out at any time for any reason. Now, Riot's journey through these trials is really something. First trial, freshman year. The description is vivid. He's handcuffed, shirt torn, lips busted, bleeding. And his big act to prove commitment...
This is grim.
Killing a traitor brother, slicing his neck. That apparently solidified his commitment.
And that act, that specific violence, it's more than just a test, isn't it? Psychologically, what does that do to someone, forcing them into that kind of irreversible act?
It must fundamentally change you, bind you to the group in a way nothing else could.
Exactly. It creates this shared secret, this deep culpability. It reinforces that us versus them mentality. It's almost like a point of no return. You know, once you cross a line like that, your brain kind of works overtime to justify it, right? To make your identity fit with the group. Loyalty becomes less a choice, more inevitable, psychologically speaking.
And the trials escalate. Junior year, the second trial. An assignment in Chicago. Take him out. The target is Nathaniel Myers. But Riot's partner, this guy Matt, goes off script. He attacks Myers' wife and she ends up dead.
So a deviation from the plan with fatal consequences.
Right. And Riot disapproves. There's conflict between them over it. Then the third trial... It's described more briefly, but sounds physically brutal. Forced to kneel, belt around his neck, boot on his back.
Ow.
After that, he's considered to have completed all trials of initiation.
So you see this progression, right? Yeah. It feels like a deliberate process, maybe desensitization, dehumanization. Riot's disapproval of Matt, it suggests maybe some lingering moral line. But he still goes through with it all. It really hammers home how tangled up he becomes in their system.
Okay, so once a lord finishes these trials, he gets a reward.
A reward.
Yeah, a chosen one. This person is described as his gift for his servitude.
Wow. A person's a gift.
Exactly. For Riot, the chosen one is Blakely. Now, she initially hears about this ritual thing and thinks it's just a stupid rumor.
Understandable.
But Riot, he didn't just wait for her to stumble into it. The text says he actively put himself in her way.
He engineered it.
Yeah. He even had another lord, Gunner, make sure Blakely's friend Sarah found this specific flyer made just for Blakely. He apparently saw her as starving for attention, vulnerable.
And that's fascinating, isn't it? So this deliberate, almost clinical approach to manipulation.
Yeah.
He sees her unmet needs, wanting to feel wanted, maybe even these forced sex fantasies the text mentions Matt rejected.
Right.
And he just steps in to fill that void. But on his terms. It's not just force, it's exploiting these really deep psychological cravings to create control.
Which leads us to the vow ceremony. This is central.
The ritual itself.
Yeah. The Chosen vows to surrender in all that they do and be bound to serve him. The scene is set in an old cathedral, lords in black cloaks and white masks. There's a small pool-like structure used for the ritual.
Very atmospheric, very cult-like.
Definitely. Riot's ritual with Blakely. He cuffs her wrists, tightens them so she hisses. He submerges her in the water, and then engages in sexual acts, declaring, "You belong to me now, Blake, and I'm going to take what's mine."
So complete ownership declared and, well, enacted.
And there's a parallel mention with Matt and his chosen Ashley. He apparently bared his teeth like he's mad at her and yanked her up from the water by her hair. Like she's somehow to blame for his own issues.
That contrast highlights the different personalities maybe, but the underlying theme is the same. Domination. This ritual, it's cementing that power transfer, isn't it? Breaking down the individual will for total submission.
Or at least that's the intention. The narrative gets complex later, but the control Riot exerts over Blakely is extensive.
How so?
Okay, get this. Cameras in her apartment, surveillance. He moves her to his cabin, takes her phone so she can't call her friend Sarah or her family. Isolation.
Classic control tactics. Cut off support systems.
He covers her school absence by claiming they're on a honeymoon, hires someone to go to her classes for her.
Wow. So erasing her independent life.
And then, this is maybe the most disturbing, he stops her birth control pills without telling her because he wants her pregnant. He actually says he wants to keep her knocked up every day of our lives.
That's chilling. That's biological control. It's the ultimate assertion of ownership, isn't it? Over her body, her future. It moves beyond just environmental control.
Yeah, it's a whole constellation, like you said. Surveillance, isolation, controlling her biology. It all works together to just dismantle her autonomy.
And this level of control must breed tension, right?
Yeah.
Especially with others like Matt involved.
Oh, absolutely. The loyalty lines are constantly shifting. Riot himself is conflicted. He says he loves Blakely, but admits she started as an assignment he tried to turn down.
So, feelings complicated the mission.
Yeah, he says he began to feel something for you, but also that he goes fucking soft when she cries. Like it's a weakness.
Interesting vulnerability there, even in him. And Matt.
Matt is furious about losing Blakely. He gets physical, licks her face, pushes her against a wall, threatens her verbally. She'll be stuck with him until I die. Not seeing daylight, calls her your slut, his whore.
Yeah.
Horrible stuff.
Pure rage and possessiveness.
And he tries to weaponize her secrets. He tells another lord, Tyson, and later other lords about her rape fantasy to humiliate both her and Riot.
Using intimacy as a weapon. It shows how twisted loyalty and relationships become in this world. And wasn't there something else Riot did to track her?
Yes. Just in case, he had a tracker implanted between her neck and shoulder, so he could always find her if she ran.
Okay, so the control is absolute. Physical, emotional, technological, biological. It really makes you ask, in such a dynamic, how much real autonomy can even exist when loyalty itself seems warped into this idea of ownership.
And the betrayals just keep coming. Matt actually tries to kill Riot when they're locked in a cell together. So much for brotherhood.
Ultimate disloyalty.
Yeah.
Breaking the core code, presumably.
Even family isn't straightforward. Blakely's mom, Valerie, was pushing her towards Matt for status, but her dad, Phil, admits he arranged for Riot to choose Blakely.
Why?
To save her from Matt, apparently. After Valerie had already signed Blakely up to be a chosen without her knowing.
So everyone is playing games, manipulating behind the scenes, even parents.
Seems like it. And Blakely herself faces a test. Her first test of initiation, Riot calls it. He gives her divorce papers.
Testing her loyalty.
Right. He expected her to reject them. She burns them instead, which, in his eyes, confirms her commitment to him.
It's fascinating how even an act that seems like defiance, burning the papers, actually ends up reinforcing the system she's trapped in. It serves his purpose.
Exactly. And then comes the biggest twist, the ultimate betrayal reveal.
Okay.
Blakely finds out Valerie isn't her biological mother. Her real mother is someone named Leanne. And Valerie is actually Matt's chosen.
Wow. Okay, that recontextualizes everything.
Yeah.
So Blakely's whole life has been built on these secrets and manipulations.
Pretty much. And this leads to her major transformation. She runs away, Riot tracks her down naturally, and she faces this final brutal test.
This is where her role shifts, right? From object to something else.
Completely. There's a confrontation. Valerie revealed as Matt's chosen, and Blakely's non-biological mother is part of a plot against Riot.
So she chose a side. Against Riot.
And Blakely has to make a choice, too. This becomes her own dark initiation. She kills Valerie, slices her throat.
Blakely kills Valerie. Wow.
In Riot's reaction, he says, You did good, Blake. You're my good girl.
Chilling validation. So she's fully initiated now through violence, just like the Lords.
Seems that way. And then, remember Tyson? The Lord Matt revealed the fantasy to. Turns out he's Matt's father.
That's father, okay.
And Tyson kills Matt, completes the revenge cycle, maybe for Matt's earlier screw-up, maybe for everything.
So cycles of violence, betrayal, revenge, all playing out.
And amidst all this, the big secret. Blakely is pregnant. With Riot's twins.
Twins, so his plan worked.
Yep. And Riot declares his family Blakely, and the babies will always come first. Blakely, meanwhile, seems to find a new understanding of her role. She internalizes this idea. A lord is nothing without his lady. And she learns you kneel because you want to serve him, but also that she now has the power to make him hear, see, and believe whatever you want to.
That's a crucial shift. It's agency, but a really dark, manipulative form of it, born out of survival within that brutal system. She's not just submitting, she's learned to play the game, hasn't she? Using the system's own rules.
It really seems like it. The narrative concludes with Riot deciding to become a judge in Pennsylvania. They'll stay at the cabin, raise their family.
A judge, given his background?
Well, yeah, irony maybe. He still talks about wanting to keep her knocked up, give her the life she wants. He says, this woman has become my home. She's having my sons and even more of my kids after that.
So the control continues, but maybe framed differently now as family.
So wrapping this up, what does it all mean? This deep dive into the ritual, into these excerpts, it really lays bare a fictional world built on absolute power, extreme loyalty, or the performance of it, and these really disturbing transformations. From Riot's brutal initiations and his, frankly, terrifying control methods, to Blakely's journey from being this chosen object to becoming a lady, an active, violent participant. It exposes the mechanics of coercion.
Yeah, it's a stark fictional example of how power dynamics can corrupt, absolutely. And how people, even if they start unwillingly, can get drawn into these cycles of violence and control. And sometimes they find a strange kind of power within that system itself.
And exploring these fictional scenarios helps us think about real human dynamics, doesn't it? So maybe the thought to leave you with is this. In any system that demands absolute power and unwavering devotion, whether it's real or imagined like this one, how much genuine freedom can ever really exist? Especially when your very survival seems tied to playing by those rules. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you're walking away with maybe not just facts, but a richer way to think about these complex and often dark ideas.
Absolutely. And hopefully it encourages you to keep exploring, keep questioning, and connecting the dots you see out there in the world.
Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and keep looking for those aha moments.